Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slightly Listing, a show where three childhood friends get together and discuss different top 3 lists and scenarios. Every week, a new episode, and every week, a new topic. The conversations have a habit of veering off course, but that just means you'll get a glimpse into what over 20 years of friendship sounds like. Now, on to the show. Yeah. Hello, my name. Hey!
Had to. We just couldn't.
Oh, the band is back together. Hello, my name is Tyler. I'm one of your hosts.
I'm Talman.
I am Taylor.
And this week's episode, as per requested by our Instagram followers,
Two people. One of them is Thomas' wife.
we are going to do. We were going to do both of them anyways.
Yeah, we were.
This week we're doing conspiracy theories. So these are things that have been floating around in popular culture for years, decades.
Like aliens floating in ships.
Yeah. Also, I want to take this chance to welcome Taylor back to the show. I know we had an episode last time's episode was with Taylor, but that was recorded before he went away, and this one is when he's back. And it's good to have you back on American soil.
Oh, thank you guys. I missed you guys. It's good to be back.
But wait, he was here. He flew back.
I was here for a couple hours. It's good seeing you guys for a little bit.
On the concourse.
Concourse. The jet's really nice.
Yeah, it looked amazing.
Luxury.
Yeah.
It landed right outside the house.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet.
Travel. But you were weird, man. I'm glad that you're like not as weird as that. Show.
Well, I was telling Tyler earlier, I forgot how cool like my middle school years were. Like I had girlfriends and stuff that I forgot about.
Dude.
That was cool.
We were kings.
Okay, wow, you're going that far.
You said it.
Before we start again, I also want to say, if you're listening, go wherever you listen to us, rate and review us on whatever you're listening to us. So whether that be iTunes, Google Play Music, we're on Stitcher Radio, we're also on iHeartRadio, so just give us a rating and a review, you know?
Are we on iHeartRadio?
We are.
Wow.
Yeah, I just go, Alexa, play Slightly Listening, and then it comes on, and I go, stop, Alexa, stop, please stop. So I know it happens when you do that.
All right, well.
Okay, I'll play your dumb podcast.
It's like, it's too
Are you really sure, Talman?
You were there when it happened.
So, Talman, start us off, number 1.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, okay, we said we're doing conspiracy theories.
Yeah, doing conspiracy theories. Also, let's also like take a pulse at the end, seeing if how much do you believe in this, or how crazy is this?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I believe all of them.
Blanket statement. Get it out of the way.
Every one of them. I love conspiracy theories. I have multiple weird conversations with multiple weird people about conspiracy theories regularly.
I used to be really into this shit for a while.
Yeah, you could go like in the deep dark internet and find some weird shit. Which I did. And the first one, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I didn't do any research because I have talked about this with a certain person that goes unnamed for so many conversations about this, and it's about like the deep darkness of Hollywood and like its satanic ties. And specifically, how George Lucas has had sex with every single actor in every single Star Wars. That's a theory.
Even Warwick Davis?
Every single actor. This is what this person has told me, that in order to be in a Star Wars film, you have to have sex with George Lucas.
I wonder if that counts for the new ones.
All of them.
Do you think now they have to have sex with JJ?
Yeah, probably JJ.
You know what I found out? Sorry, this is a quick tangent. That Bill Hader was the voice of the little ball thing.
BB-8, yeah.
Okay, sorry, keep going.
What?
I just learned that.
He did some of the voiceover. Actually, also
just the first film.
Also, what's his name? John Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He did voiceover for the new movies, I think, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
For the robot that just makes beep noises?
Yep. Yeah, it was.
How's that a voiceover?
It was Bill Hader with the Peter Frampton womp 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 womp.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He's like, I did it in an hour.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now you could say you're in a Star Wars movie.
So sorry.
What?
Yeah,
so
I really derailed us.
Is it just specifically George Lucas, or just like a bunch of different things in Hollywood in general, where you have to kind of be part of a satanic cult?
Yes, yeah. Like in order to make it as a famous person, you have to be an Illuminati Satanist, like blood friggin', like what are they called? Blood rituals.
Oh.
Blood orgies.
blood ceremony.
Blood ceremonies. You've seen we used to watch these stupid videos on YouTube when YouTube was like new.
When YouTube wasn't policed, it was
Right.
like private.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, whatever you want.
And just weird, yeah, just like weird symbolism and satanic, like all the, Kanye West sold his soul to the devil kind of stuff. But yeah, you've heard about this stuff. It's all, I don't know, it all kind of ties into like, even like rock star, like you can't go down to Hollywood and like be anything unless you like go and sacrifice a goat somewhere and become
Where though? No, seriously, where?
the goat house.
Goat House.
Goat house.
It's at
I don't know. There's like all kinds of weird conspiracy theories about Hollywood and like
I could get into this in detail.
Scientology and I mean it's been played out and it's like super annoying. I just wanted to say that one specific
George Lucas
thing
having sex
about,
with everybody.
about George Lucas, because that's like it was like a serious thing that I heard, and I was like, yeah, that's not true. And they were like, no, it's everybody. It's like a thing you have to do, and I was like, that's weird.
On what authority did these people talk about? Like on what authority? I mean, like where are they getting these facts?
They're obviously not in Star Wars films or even actors, but I mean, I don't know. They know something that we don't. I bet we wouldn't last a minute.
Well, a lot of
LA.
this,
If we move this podcast to LA, would you be able to sacrifice a goat?
Yeah.
totally.
Where?
All
How
right.
many?
Let's go to Goat House.
Goat House, if you're listening, give us a ring-a-ding.
Yeah, we'll do
Does
it.
Patrick Swayze guard it?
Sell our
Goat
soul.
House. Oh no, he's
Ghost
dead.
House.
Conspiracy theory. He's still alive.
He is. He's
Goat
on
House.
he's on an island with Tupac and stuff.
Just chilling.
right? All those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Prince, there, dancing, singing. No,
And JFK.
JFK.
Taylor.
My first one is I like this one because it's funny, but how the Simpsons have can predict the future and predicted the future,
Yeah, definitely.
and so
Did
there's
you get some times? Did you pull times?
yeah, so like there's a bunch of them like they had Trump winning the presidency in a episode from the year 2000,
yeah.
but. And like people like
The escalator thing too, right?
I don't know if that scene came before or after. I'm not sure. I apparently I didn't watch the episode recently. I probably watched it when it aired, but this thing that I watched, it wasn't like it was through a magazine that kind of debunked this stuff. It wasn't some dude because there were some. Excuse me. There were some. I watched one YouTube thing. It was like, I won't say their name to give them airtime or whatever, but they were very Christian and like got it like how Simpsons are like devil worshippers and Matt Groening is, evil
See?
and all this. And I was
Hollywood.
Oh, well, because he's Jewish, and I'm sure they have some kind of anti-Semitic kind of.
well,
slant
that's
to
the
it.
thing about all these conspiracy theories, like the real like serious deep ones, is they're all rooted in anti-Semitism.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shit. It's like Republican propaganda. Well, it's actually, I think, Russian propaganda, a lot of it. Anyway, that's real funny. But the Simpsons stuff, so like they predicted he would win the presidency.
I remember that episode a long time ago.
They predicted that Siegfried and Roy, who got mauled by the tiger, I think it was Siegfried, they had that in an episode in '93, but I mean, that's just
Didn't they both die from
funny.
that?
No, neither of them died.
No, they just got like
their just careers are
fucked
done.
up.
Yeah, got mauled.
because they're not on stage anymore. They're not stage worthy right now.
But they wrote it in '93, and it happened in like 2015.
Yeah,
but
that was definitely going to happen.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have them in your cartoon. What are you gonna do? Where's the funny? That's the obvious funny punchline.
Yeah.
right.
And Disney gets bought out or buys Fox. One thing they did was they predicted a Nobel Prize winner in 2010, and he won it in 2016.
Who?
What's his name? Bent Holdstrom.
What is he?
He won it for economics. But they also, it was like,
Huh.
they're very smart people
Yeah.
that write the show, extremely smart,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of really good research. And so it was this scene
He
where
was
they
like
were
projected
playing.
to win something.
Well, they
or-
were playing Nobel, like
Bingo or something? Yeah.
And and on that sheet there were two other winners who won for chemistry. So like they're
So
just
they
smart.
After-
and
after
they
that
know-
episode?
Yeah, after that
Okay.
episode. So 3 of these people out of this whole scorecard won, and I mean,
That one tracks a little bit. That makes sense because they're not they don't just start research and then like a year later they win. Like the research that these people are doing that win Nobel Prizes are done over like
it's like a lifetime
years. Yeah,
work.
like exactly. So that one like whatever, but it's just weird that a lot of these things have come true or have, come to fruition as far as like the jokes they make based on them.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like the show's been around for nearly 30 years. And
yeah.
That's so
chances
fucking crazy.
I know. Chances are they're going to predict, do something before it happens. Life imitates art. And they made a good point that some of the weird, there's really banal ones that I didn't, like a lemon tree got stolen or something. Like it's really fucking stupid, really weird
like
shit.
List goes on and on.
Yeah, and they're like, maybe it was there subconsciously, or like they made fun of Apple and because Apple had a tablet like years ago in like the 90s, and it was really shitty.
Yeah.
It was a piece of shit, and they made fun of it, and it had like autocorrect in it. And that was like a big thing, was the product had really bad handwriting recognition or something. So you would write and it couldn't figure out what. So you're supposed to be able to write handwriting and then it would type it.
Like with your finger? Like
no, it had a little
like
pen.
a stylus or something.
Yeah. And so they put
like when you sign shit with your finger. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
right,
It's like, that doesn't
Well, it's pretty
work.
much what it's like. It basically looks like the ATM machines or debit card sliders where you just write your name or whatever. But Apple said that scene was a running joke when they were developing the keyboard for the new iPhones.
Okay.
So they had it in the back of their mind.
Yeah,
Like, we got to do something about this.
I mean,
because the Simpsons made fun of us.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what the Simpsons was like in the 90s. They were fucking...
They're a big deal.
They're on top. Now they're, in trouble for a poo and everything. And not, not as relevant as they once were, but I just really I loved that. And when I started hearing about them predicting it, and then, of course, the very big one that is like the real, all the truthers, the conspiracy, like especially the 9/11 truthers. There's a scene in 1997. It's called like Homer Takes on New York, and it's a really funny episode. I remember that episode. But like Bart holds up a magazine, and it says like $9, and then it has the two twin towers, and it's like 9/11, and there's like an airplane. Yeah, and so Mac Renning knew it was going to happen, and so he was just trying to warn, or they call it
instead of preventing
Illuminati hubris, because they'll put things into their programming to laugh at you. They know and you don't.
Makes sense.
We're gonna put it on The Simpsons, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Joke.
Totally.
So that image,
let people just die.
when I was into this shit, I'd see that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
See that specific one all the time.
That
where
image or that
Bart
episode,
holding up a magazine, and it says 9/11.
That's
and there's
like a
airplanes.
crazy coincidence, for sure. But it's like, come on.
I mean, they've had over 500 episodes now, right? Didn't they hit 500?
Yeah,
like
last
2 years ago.
Year before, maybe.
Yeah. So
Damn.
some things are going to end up happening.
Exactly.
And then he did Futurama, and Futurama has nailed a lot of things.
I know Hypnotoad. Totally.
Yeah.
All hail,
Yeah.
right?
My first one is New Coca-Cola. Do you guys remember this? This was when we were kids, when they it started out as like Coca-Cola saying like, "Oh, we're going to like change the formula." And when they put it out, everyone was pissed off because apparently it didn't taste as good. It was like awful. And so they had it only for like a couple months, I think.
Or until they could sell it off or
Taylor
whatever.
just opened a Coke.
Classic.
Yeah, Taylor opened a
Class.
classic Cola. We had it since whatever,
Yeah.
1985. Oh, so it was a little bit before our
Do
time.
taste test.
Yeah.
So it was only around for like, I forgot the exact time.
Like a cycle of
Yeah,
cola.
it was a very
people were
short
so
cycle.
pissed
People
that
were
they-
pissed because it was like, what is this? We know Coca-Cola, and this is
Well, think about there weren't a bunch of other... How many other sodas were there at the time? There wasn't like...
Pepsi,
Code
RC,
Red.
Tab.
You know?
There's a lot.
Okay, I guess there was like Mellow
But there's
Yellow.
not the classic Coca-Cola flavor that people like. People are very
Was there
specific.
Was there Jolt Cola in 1985?
There might have been, but
My
I think Jolt
sister-
is now bought by Pepsi.
My sister friggin' loved that shit.
Well, it has a ton of it had the most caffeine in it, right?
So it has 6-month rollout.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
And so it was such a backlash. They were like, okay, we're sorry. We'll go back to the original Coca-Cola formula. Everyone's happy. But
They didn't?
They did, kind of, but there was like a bait and switch that happened. So at a certain point, buying all sodas now are done with high fructose corn syrup because it's like so easy to make and create and purchase because it's cheap, as opposed to buying sugar. That's why
the bottled Coke.
That's why the bottled Coke, you get them from Mexico, that has real sugar. But so as a way to kind of get high fructose corn syrup in there and take sugar out, they rolled out like a specific kind of soda that they knew tasted horrible with high fructose corn syrup. And people were like, oh, this tastes gross. This formula is gross. So like, okay, sorry, we'll go back to our original formula. They went back to the original formula minus sugar and kept in high fructose corn syrup.
Really?
So the conspiracy here is that they did that on purpose as a way to bait and switch the cheaper product of sugar for corn syrup.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard this.
Know about that.
But it's like it makes financial sense, but it's such like a large kind of a long con. It's similar to where someone like says like, oh, like when you ask your parent or something like, oh, give me $20. Like, no, I don't want to. And then like, well, I'll give you 10. Okay. But you really wanted 10 anyways. It's like asking
Start high. Yeah.
And then like you work your way back knowing that this is going to be where you fall on. So it's similar to that. Like
seems like a risky thing to do.
Well, yeah, you're going to risk Coca-Cola.
For how long their company had been around prior to that, they're like, okay, suddenly we're going to have new Coca-Cola formula. We're going to stop making old Coke.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but why though? Why would they do that?
Why? Why not roll out two Coca-Cola products? One standard Coca-Cola, one new Coca-Cola, or name it something else completely.
Uh-huh.
But the idea that the product and the sugar was put out and put into for high fructose corn syrup, it's kind of like, that's interesting.
I could kind of believe that one.
Yeah, me too. It's like it makes sense like financially for a company to like try to use a cheaper product in order to gain more money, especially within American capitalism.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
like
kind of the model, like
maximize profit.
Things are meant to break or built to break now.
Yeah. But I like that one. That one was like that one's a little bit more real.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
It's believable.
Definitely more believable.
It's believable. I don't know if it's true.
I'll save this remark for the end of the show. But yeah, it's kind of believable. I kind of believe that one a little bit. Talman, number 2?
Yeah. Well, this one is kind of like a broad thing.
What's going on in your shirt?
That it's hard to see. It's 2 raccoons, like in space.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, it's a cool shirt. This raccoons. I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry. I'm just so happy to see you guys. That's all.
So the idea that
hey, what the fuck is going on with your shirt?
I was like right in the middle of saying something. What is going on?
Hold it.
Hey, shut up and hear me yell. What's going on with your shirt?
Anyway, so the idea that like your smartphone and your Alexa and your everything, all the new technology is spying on you and shit. And I know that we've probably talked about my Alexa like way too much on this show.
You're really proud of your Alexa.
You love it.
I do, but I don't. It's a love-hate thing, you know what I mean? And when my daughter plays the shitty music she likes to listen to, it's not so fun. But
we're basically like beta testing those things.
Right. And the technology is like kind of new
and fingerprint technology and facial recognition technology.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got that shit on my phone.
This is what I'm getting into here.
Okay.
And then
when you said finger, I was getting worried for a second. I was like, "Hand finger what?" Oh, technology. Yeah. That's not funny.
Yeah. So there's this article I came across when I was like searching for like new stuff about Alexa spying because there was this thing where a guy like murdered his wife or something, and then they
used it in the case.
They tried to, but it was his smart appliances to see like when he had used them, if he did like a bunch of laundry in the middle of the night to see if he like threw the clothes that are covered in blood in there or something. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's the way to. Don't quote me on that.
Well, if you talk to it, it listens to you for 5 minutes after you have talked to it or something like that?
No, it's not that long, but it's like a minute.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's trigger words, and there's been like the new thing that I came across is actually pretty fucking funny. There's a bunch of videos of like people's Alexas like just laughing.
Yeah,
yeah, randomly. I saw that.
Yeah.
Super fucking creepy.
It's like, oh, what the fuck? If mine did that, I'd be like, go away, well, Alexa, and like, throw it out the window.
We had one for a while, and we never really used it, so we gave it back to my wife's parents because they got more use out of it. But there would be times where I'd be having a conversation with my wife, and it'd be like, sorry, I didn't get that. I'd be like, holy shit!
I was talking to you!
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's definitely a little creepy.
And I kind of had a hard time talking to it at first, but then I caught myself like, hey, Alexa. And I was like, this is weird.
Hey, robot.
And like, Jamie was like, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, I will. It'll be my robot friend.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask it a bunch of stuff. It's like
I saw that article about like Alexa laughing, and I was like, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And I watched videos too about it, but it had something to do with like it recognizing or it like thinking you said like a joke or something or laughing at a joke, and then it started. It's like key into what your words were was like incorrect.
Yeah, the trigger for whatever reason for it to laugh. There's a ton of different like phrases and words that it recognizes as like something to laugh to is what I was reading.
Yeah.
So like they haven't like figured out how to fix that. It's like a weird glitch. And so like random like talk like these people on Twitter, there's like a bunch of tweets like my Alexa just laughed at me when I was talking about something super serious. Had to unplug it and put it in the closet or something.
Drop kick it down some stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like all kinds of stuff like when the Xbox came out with the video capability and it was like supposedly recording like your every move and stuff and like
remember hearing about that.
I mean that's kind of creepy. I remember that shit.
I mean, I figure it's just like it's if all of it's true,
there's got to be like
it's already far gone. Like fuck it,
stockpile of boring ass footage. Some
that cloud. Or just every guy jerking off. There's just a bank of it.
Yeah,
just every guy in their bathroom.
I wish like the next kind of like doomsday date is just like on every screen would pop up of like yourself masturbating. Yeah, and then everyone's just like or like family members, different family members of yours on your own technology masturbating. And you're like.
No.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. That would be so bad.
And you're like, I can't turn it off.
Clockwork Orange stuff. All of a sudden you're like,
your eyes just cramp suddenly.
Now here's Grandpa. No! He told me he doesn't know how to use it.
That's creepy as fuck. Yeah. There was a guy in a coffee shop. I pushed my stroller. This is when my daughter was pretty little, like maybe a year ago. And she's still like in the stroller, and I pushed it, and this guy was like on his phone in line behind me, and he goes, "Oh God, like I don't have a kid, but like my phone's like looking at your stroller, or it's like kind of there, and like there's an ad for like strollers and stuff on my thing." I'm like, huh.
What I heard about this is that the algorithms are so good that it predicts this shit. It's predictive algorithms. Believable. So you were online watching this stuff, right?
No.
No?
I have a disc.
You were just talking about it?
But maybe the disc was attached to my PlayStation, which was online, which was put into my IP address and everything my IP address searches.
They already have so much data on you. Their algorithms are so... This is what I've heard. It could be bullshit to try and cover up that they are listening.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I mean, it turned out that everybody's like... everybody was being monitored, their phone calls and everything. Yeah. So why wouldn't they do it now?
It's not that far-fetched to believe that other parts of your
there's
electronics
definitely
are monitored.
But like the caveat or whatever, what I think though, like some people, the conspiracy theorists would be like, because they want to control the world.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they just want to sell you some shit.
Yeah, they want money.
They just want to sell you shit.
I mean, I don't control the world. They being like the
powers that be.
The powers that be control it or whatever anyway, so.
They just want your money. Facebook is market research.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. Well, that's...
Taylor, drink your Pepsi New. I think it tastes bad because it was in a old cooler.
Yeah, it's Kirkland. It could be that.
Past its prime.
It was cold and then heated up again and then recooled. And it was already garbage to start. So.
Yeah, it really was.
Did you have more?
No.
No? Okay. One of my favorite new things is the Mandela effect.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard of the Mandela effect.
Yep.
Let me bring up my research. So
it's like the twin reality kind of thing where you take it.
Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about.
So it all started like I remember reading some dude wrote like his like dissertation on it, and I read it like a long time ago, and it was really well written, and it was about the Berenstain Bears.
Yes.
Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain.
It's Berenstain. So he.
Excuse me.
So okay, how do you?
What stain?
Do you remember?
Do you know the books, the children's books?
Berenstain Bears.
It's Berenstain Bears. It's always been Berenstain Bears. So here's
like stain, like
STAIN
IN.
instead of EIN.
No, I've seen it.
Go find one. So all right, so it says. Here's a BuzzFeed thing kind of breaking it down. It says there's an unexplained phenomenon that you've probably experienced without knowing what it's called, and it's garnering more and more attention lately. The Mandela effect is what the internet is calling those curious instances, which many of us are certain we remember something a particular way, but it turns out we were incorrect. So a lot of people could have sworn that Nelson Mandela died while he was in prison in the 80s, and but he actually died in 2013.
Yeah, much later.
So there's this whole thing where people think.
Wait, why did they think he? Is there like a news story that was fake that he died?
No,
or something?
people just
think that happened or remember that happening.
It's like mass misremembering, basically, or whatever.
Huh.
And so some people say that we're in a parallel universe where little things are different. Some people think that time travelers in the future have gone to the past and have therefore changed things a little bit, the butterfly effect. But then the other thing is that everybody just has shitty memory or just remembers things they want to.
That makes sense.
And so this article has a bunch of ones like Oscar Mayer, the way it's spelled, and people remember it being Meyr. Yeah,
Berenstain.
Berenstain.
Oh well, those books suck anyway. I mean, I just remember
But the name is what, I remember it being Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain Bears.
Whatever. Steen.
But this dude, I wish I could find it. I should have looked for it. This dude wrote this paper, and it was really good about this. And he's like...
We'll find it and put it up on the episode
He was like,
notes
no way, no. And he said he, went to his mom's house and, ran up into the closet and, went into the attic and, found his books and opened it and looked at it. And he was like, oh, my God, it's Berenstain. What? I was like, no. And it was just this, because all that conspiracy shit's so heavy and bullshit and all of this, and then this dude's writing this amazing paper about the Berenstain Bears and how it was his favorite book, and his whole childhood's been a lie and all this shit. It was really good, and
that's funny.
That's the first time I ever heard about it, and so now people who just don't remember things correctly are like, Mandela effect. You see it a lot now.
Oh, people say that?
Well, I've seen it online.
Never heard it.
Seen it online.
What's the Oscar Mayer thing?
So
it's just Mayer and
Meyer instead of Mayer. It's spelled Mayer, not Meyer.
Maybe that's because people pronounced it Meyer and it was just written Mayer. I don't remember that one. Berenstain is what I distinctly remember.
Sex in the City and Sex and the City. It's Sex and the City. It's not Sex in the City, which that's bullshit because it's Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
It's Sex and the City.
Sex in the City.
And
Sex and the City. Yeah, sex. I don't know.
Right. Here's one.
I mean, you loved what's her? I can't even think of any of their names right now.
Miranda.
You were you were a big Miranda fan.
Samantha.
She's the redhead.
I think you're
right?
a Samantha fan.
Samantha.
You're a big slut.
Big whore.
This one.
Big drunken slut.
All right, this one right here. We Are the Champions. It doesn't say of the world in it.
Bull.
Once.
Shit.
At the end. Of the world. Yeah. It's not in the song.
Nope.
It's not in the song.
We're gonna have to take a quick break and try to sign off on this because
don't go on that one.
I won't. It's not.
Go on a real one.
Okay, well we're gonna be right back.
Let's see.
Hey, check this out, listeners.
Hey, this is going off the. Fuck you guys.
Hey, check this out, listeners.
Listeners.
Oh, I'm on airplane mode.
That's a pretty sustained word.
I mean, he says world for about 4 seconds there.
If anything, I remember it's him saying, "Oh, the world." So what the fuck is BuzzFeed talking about? This totally
it's on BuzzFeed,
discredits BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed. Let me see what this one plays.
This is the
one
fake
that they put
version.
up.
We played one from YouTube right now. So unless someone snuck in their own lyrics on the Queen song, in which everybody remembers them saying "of the world."
Here, wait.
Taylor's pulling up the one he has on iTunes Music.
I'll pull it up.
It's at a minute 16 or at a minute 14 or something. So we're gonna see what's going on. Maybe iTunes has censored "of the world" because that was like too insensitive to say that Queen is the champion of the whole entire world. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It was right there, right?
Yeah. So what the fuck is BuzzFeed talking about?
I don't know, man.
Fucking BuzzFeed.
Maybe that was a joke at the end? What?
They're saying at the end of the song it doesn't happen, but it happens in the song.
Yeah.
It happens in the song, throughout the song.
Look, I couldn't say if it was at the end of the song, but I could say it was in the song.
It's the fucking very end of the goddamn whole song. Isn't it?
No, not at the end.
Okay. Is that...
It is in the song. So I guess it's saying
Wait,
that it doesn't happen
okay, it doesn't have the end of the song.
It doesn't happen at the end of the song.
Well, goddamn it,
Okay,
this
sure.
whole debate is like fucking... I thought it was like he doesn't say it at all.
Many of those familiar with the song remember the final lyrics, "No time for losers because we are the champions of the world." Guess what? There's no "of the world." The song just ends.
Okay.
So it's the end.
Oh, to the end.
So I guess we're both right.
I guess so.
I guess. Okay, here's another.
I thought it was in the song.
I know, I was like, excuse me.
It's in the song. Right? But okay, so
Berenstain.
here's
You're
another
fucking
one.
Berenstain.
Here's another one.
Okay.
Darth Vader doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father."
What does he say?
He says, "No, I am your father."
Huh? No,
No.
I'm pretty. What? No, I'm pretty sure.
He
said
actually,
Luke.
that's what it says. He actually says, "No, I am your father." So is this just a misremembered movie line, or did some otherworldly shenanigans take place? This isn't the only Star Wars related Mandela effect. Apparently, C-3PO isn't all gold.
What? I hate this. This is fucking
C-3PO is all gold?
Isn't all
What-
gold.
What is he, like silver and gold? Is that what they're trying to
Completely
say?
gold. Were greatly thrown off upon discovering that he supposedly had a silver leg the entire time.
A one leg?
There might have been. That's not really important.
No, that's not it.
None of this says
I am your
fucking Oscar Mayer.
Well, that's the
Gives a
whole
shit.
thing. They're very small little details that
Subtle
have changed.
fucking
That people
stupid shit.
That's why everybody.
But Nelson Mandela, that's pretty big. Berenstain
Yeah.
Bears is a book that a lot of us know
lot of
from
people.
our childhoods.
Yeah, it's a stain of
It's Berenstain.
a book.
But again, what the fuck do I know? I was a kid when I read it. And I think that's what going off of like
children's books.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Curious George never had a tail.
no.
Who cares? Who cares?
That's what this is what it is.
Yeah.
What
lot of people
What
were-
happened with Chris Brown? What is he?
That's Sinbad.
That's Sinbad.
That's racist.
It says people remember a
I
Sinbad.
thought he had a neck tattoo.
People
and I'm
remember a
looking at him on the
Sinbad
side
genie
of it.
movie from the '90s, but there wasn't one.
No.
Yeah.
Kazam is.
That's Shaquille. Don't downplay Shaquille O'Neal's role.
Life is
Well,
like
we
a box
thought-
of chocolates. It's apparently life was like a box of chocolates. So it's just these little details.
It is Life was like a box of chocolates.
was like that.
Oh, it was that before, and now they changed it to Life is like a box of chocolates.
No, it says people remembered it. The line being "Life is like a box of chocolates,"
Yeah.
but it's actually "Life was like a box of chocolates."
I don't think that's true. I
That's
think that's
totally
because
not
he's an ill-minded Southern man who sometimes rolls his S's.
Well, as a previous employee of Bubba Gump Shrimp Company for 2 days,
I don't know. These
I
are
can
all
tell you, I
readily
watched-
available.
I watched that movie 0 times to study the trivia.
I love that movie.
Me too.
It's a good movie.
Hannibal Lecter never said hello, Clarice.
I don't think so. Yeah, I agree with that. That could be either or.
I don't know.
I want to see then we'll move on.
Please.
But the Luke, I am your father.
We're gonna jump on that clip because we're for sure not gonna play that on air.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, George Lucas. We're gonna have to
I have to give him a
go to
tug or
his
something.
casting couch, yeah.
All right, so I guess it does say, "No, I am your father,"
Trip
and
me.
not "Luke, I am your father."
Trip me out.
Childhood's a lie.
Go check it out.
As Talman said it, people is stupid.
People is stupid.
Yep.
My number two, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh shit. Okay. My number 2 is Beyonce was never pregnant with Blue Ivy.
I saw this, but I didn't dive into it. I would like to hear about this, please.
Okay, so there is... Oh, shit. There is...
Talman, gross, dude.
This was back in the...
Farting up a storm in here.
How old's Blue Ivy like now? Like 6 or 7? So this is a while back. And people are like very happy for Beyonce, obviously, because Beyonce is like a beloved singer.
She's queen.
She's Queen Bee. I have no disagreement with that. I think she's an amazing singer, amazing talent, and I am happy for her daughter and her twins later on. But there's a video that came out of her doing an interview, and when she goes to sit down, it looks like her stomach kind of flops over. And what was weird is if you go on this video, I have it pulled up. I'll show it to you guys during a real quick break. But
I saw the photo.
The photo, her the way she, and the but like here's another thing.
A prosthetic.
It's like a prosthetic
Right.
belly bump, and this was when she was supposed to be like 6 months pregnant, maybe. And there's other things.
okay?
There's other things. Oh, Talman, I think I'm really offended. Talman, Talman's really upset.
He
I'm
is
just
part of the
my face,
beehive.
my face is making a lot of like.
But there's also like I'll show this thing, but there was also things
twitching
like
motions.
she had like the floor above and below her, and her floor during the delivery, it was all cleared out.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like stuff they showed at like her concert, like the year after, like months later, when she's like supposedly like slimmed down. Even the pictures of her slimming down were like 3 weeks later, and it's like, oh shit, that's like, I know you're in Hollywood and you're working out, but like that's fucking fast. And then they showed like videos of her like post pregnancy, and like it's just like her hair is perfectly coiffed, which I get. Like if you're famous, your hair is gonna be perfectly coiffed for like baby photos and shit. But there's just like weird shit, and then there's also the supposedly the mother who gave birth to Blue Ivy sued her for like paternity or like maternity stuff, and I was like, oh shit, really? And apparently, like, this woman has also tried to sue a number of other people for, like, for stuff. I was like, oh, so that kind of discredits it. But the one thing I hold on to, like, really hold on to is this, and especially the comments below where people are like, a pregnant woman would never sit down like this.
Yeah.
A pregnant woman would never sit down like this. If you're 6 months pregnant, you don't just sit down like that. Like,
did you show your fiance?
I showed my fiance, and she's like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't normally believe that, but, like, if I was pregnant, I wouldn't sit down like that. I couldn't be able to sit down like that. You'd squish the baby if you tried to sit down like that.
It's not. They don't. It's like you can't.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. You can't because it's so uncomfortable for you and so like kind of dangerous for the baby. So
you shut your mouth out and show me this goddamn video.
It's just her like belly flopping onto the floor.
No, it's like it kind of sandwiches, like folds together, and the way she sits down is like so nonplussed about like, oh, I'm pregnant, but I'm fine. And I think she's like, because she wasn't pregnant, like. If you were a pregnant woman, you physically would know, like, oh, you can't do that.
But this is just second nature.
This is second
nature. You gotta see this shit. Shut up and put it on.
Okay, so I'll put it on. We'll be right back. It's weird, right?
It is.
It's weird.
It's questionable.
And it's like just the way, like again, the way she sits down. I asked my fiance. I'm sure we're gonna have to ask other pregnant women. She sits down like anybody else would try to sit down.
When you like squish a balloon a certain way and like all the air goes on one side. It's like
when you squish a balloon and all the air goes to one side.
Like she isn't. I don't know. I don't want to.
Where's the baby in there? Where's the baby in there?
Yeah, the baby got squished. Where's the squished ass baby?
So how do pregnant women sit down correctly?
They would not correctly, but like what's most comfortable. They would go
show me.
Like shuffle over to a chair, have their like ass like ready to sit down, and then like kind of squat, like put their arms down first, and then sit down and sink in and meet it. You wouldn't just sit down, for one, not getting centered with the chair, and two, just like being whatever. So I'll read some of the comments. One of them is, we all know she lied, but she probably can't have babies from all the rape and torture that she's been through since she's been a child, plus forced abortion. This is the norm for MK Ultra mind control victims.
There we go.
What the fuck?
Yeah, let's see.
Conspiracy.
Yikes.
That is fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Well, it's like
this is what Talman was talking about in the beginning of the episode.
This one says, for all you claiming she wore a prosthetic belly, you guys know they don't fold, right? And there's like a bunch of replies saying, they fold.
I've seen them. I have one.
Look at my video reply here.
How do you think I got off of work for 6 weeks?
Wow. This is...
I read some of these. These are fucking... But that one I just read is like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, it's kind of like a really like unharmful one, but it's like, why would you do it, and why would you like pretend or go through this ruse for so long? Like, again, she could have been pregnant and just like as a weird optical trick, but it looks very weird. And the idea that a woman that pregnant wouldn't sit down like that. Talman number 3.
All right, talk about save the best for last. This is a conspiracy.
Prove it. You don't know.
Conspiracy that is 100% true.
This better be fucking good.
Yeah.
That all redheads are actually aliens.
Is this that I know what you're talking about.
You don't know?
No,
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why do you think that your skin's so pale and you can't like physically like live under the sun on the earth? It's
I don't know what you're talking about.
Live under the sun on Earth.
It's because on your home planet, Taylor,
Talman, you better be careful.
This is what I'm saying. I know that this is true because I'm partially
careful what you say.
Redheaded. I get burnt, and I understand. I don't understand it.
Talman, you're my
best
friend.
You're full redhead,
and things could
tell the truth. Tell the damn truth.
You tell me the
truth.
You're
a freaking alien, and I know.
Tell me what you know.
I live with this guy. This is for your own good. I lived with this guy for a long time, and he's a freaking alien, and I'm like partial redhead. I can't live under the sun on this earth.
Yeah, so what does that make you then?
I'm part alien. Like, I'm telling you, like, there's the conspiracy. I wrote all this down.
This is a real conspiracy?
Yes. Like,
theory?
Redheads are like mutants, like comic book heroes, but without superpowers because they have a mutated gene. And apparently, like, a crazy redhead, like, alien humped a giant. Wait, hold on.
A giant?
Let me back up here. Let me back
Crazy.
up.
Whoa.
Let me back up.
Hey, what?
Like, the Vikings, that's where all the redheads come in. They raped a bunch of people and like went all over the world.
Vikings raped aliens?
No.
Aliens raped Vikings.
No, the theory.
How dare you conquer everyone?
The theory is aliens made love to giants that had, and the aliens had red hair, and the giants made love to regular people and then made Vikings. And then the Vikings made love to a lot of other people.
Just everybody.
And that's why redheads are all over the place.
And we're tall and lanky.
They're getting burnt by the sun and dying off. And there's gonna be no redheads in a few years.
I've heard that redheads are going Instinct?
Instinct?
They're going instinct. Every redhead joins the new pop group Instinct.
Did I say instinct?
No.
Fuck.
I've heard that, and it's not true because redhead genes.
It's a recessive gene. Everyone has a recessive gene. Yeah.
But that's because Vikings fucked everybody, right?
But you're so like
alien Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Cowboy alien Vikings.
Yeah. There's like I don't know. There's a lot about you that
I don't trust.
Real serious.
Is like I'm pretty sure you're an alien.
Where the fuck did you find this one? Was this just to talk about Taylor?
No. I've thought, you know what?
Where did you find this one? I'd like to read about it.
On the internet.
He got it from his diary, okay?
The mystery.
He went back to he's living with us. Dear diary.
This is the
I'm pretty
website.
sure Taylor's
I'm going to start
an alien.
8th grade pretty soon. This guy, Taylor, I think he's an alien.
I think he's an alien.
We'll update you.
I accidentally walked in on him taking a pee, and things don't add up.
He said he had a chortle. I didn't know what that was.
www.themysteries.
He asked me, doesn't everybody have two penises?
You listen to the website that I got this information.
Both hands.
What's the www dot?
The mystery.
Because you have to tell us.
The mysteries and history of redhair.co.uk/aliens.
Oh, see.
Atlantis.html.
Atlantis.
The British hate redheads.
Ugh.
They hate them.
And there's a
Irish
YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly.
This YouTube video is pretty. I don't have the internet right now.
Well, the redheads have been depicted poorly throughout time. We were typically Judas had red hair and like all these things. People don't like us.
Yeah, because fucking
we're
aliens.
With good reason.
No, it's true.
You guys raped Vikings.
I read these things.
You guys are a bunch of Viking rapists.
I'm just saying the theories. I mean,
bunch of redhead giants. So Conan's like pure. Conan O'Brien. He's got the real pure blood.
Oh, he's.
Oh, speaking of that, I saw him in the airport in San Francisco
No, you
on our
didn't.
way out.
You
We
freaking
totally,
liar.
totally did.
Don't even.
You
Totally
gotta,
saw
you
him.
gotta lie to kick it.
Totally
You
saw
don't
him.
have to lie. You know.
And
what I mean?
I went and looked at him. He's going down the escalator. Like,
Did you guys give each other the alien?
no,
nod
he
or
was
go,
he was going down the escalator. It's great. And he looked at me. Yeah, we did. We did this thing. We did the Vulcan. Yeah. But he looked at me just like he's like, please don't say my name. Like I'm in the airport. Don't say it. So anyway, I'm an alien. It's true.
Yeah.
We
It's
solved
over.
it.
I have to go back to my home planet now.
What's
Thank
the
you
planet
very
called?
much. Pluto, because it's far from the sun. That's
Oh,
where
okay.
we survive. It's
Pluto,
Ireland.
not a
It's called
planet.
Red lipstick.
Oregon.
It's called Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Ireland. But yeah, there's like a bunch of different sci-fi things where people go to planets and it's all redheads there and stuff. I think Futurama did it too. Or no, that was the
That's just Fry.
Amazon planet.
Snoo.
Fry. Yeah, Snoo. But I'm pretty sure that redheads come from a different planet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me neither. They're weird.
100% true.
They're
Yeah.
gross.
Oh.
Nasty.
All right, fucking Zorp. What what's your number 3?
Flip, flop, fleep, bloop.
Are you a robot?
Robot, alien, Viking, giant.
Aliens don't make noises.
All right, so this one is a pretty good one. And I'm not going to tell you about it.
I'm gonna keep it secret.
You
guys don't deserve this one.
I was just going to tell you guys that I'm an alien and I was going to go.
Dead.
Oh,
to
way
my
to out
planet.
him, Talman,
Yeah.
before he's ready to just be public about his alien
Fuck, where the hell is it?
heritage.
There it is. Okay, so most of our favorite celebrities.
I think I know what this one is.
Have sex with George Lucas.
Well, duh. That's not even, that's just conspiracy fact.
You know how many times I fucked him to get into shit? I forgot the name of his first movie. Not THX. Well,
Was it like American Graffiti?
that's it. God damn it! That
Yeah,
joke would have been
is
so
that
much better if
George-
I
yeah,
wrote
that was
American
his-
Graffiti.
Bill Hader like just gave him a little tickle on his nut to
That's
be
all he had to do,
It's
yeah.
like I only have to do an hour's work. Well, you got to tickle my
Well,
nut then.
you just
Not full blown sex, just
flick it.
flick it.
Scratch my stone.
Oh my God, Taylor! A majority of the famous Hollywood celebrities that we know and love are
Clones.
clones of whom?
Your favorite of themselves, but they're like dead or being tortured.
Like Keanu Reeves. I saw that
No,
picture.
Keanu Reeves is a time traveler.
I believe that.
I saw
That's
that
a different.
picture.
That's a
There's
different
man-
conspiracy theory. Yeah,
There's a man in the olden days. It's Keanu.
it's Keanu.
Fucking
And
John
then
Wick.
and then
And
there
you
were
see the
and
phone
then-
booth in the
I mean,
back.
yeah, exactly. Whoa. You know they're making a third one, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I hope so.
I'm pretty stoked.
Is Bill going to be the real Bill?
Any specific people they call out
Yes. So
that have been captured and
so there's this man, and he is his name.
Pins and
there's this
needles.
guy. He
Pins
sells
and needles.
DVDs outside of a Little Caesars.
Yeah, his name is Donald Marshall, and if you want to learn more about it, Google
do.
Donald Marshall.
Okay,
I'm Donald Marshall.
Because
putting it
there
in.
are a lot. There's a lot of material about this guy, and he came out on Facebook a few years ago.
saying that he was Keanu.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, I just got out of my phone booth. Where the fuck? I don't know. It was like 2011 or something. He went on Facebook. Yeah, 2011. And he is, but it's a Donald clone. And he's a normal guy, but he grew up in a cloning station that was run by Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And
okay.
he
Duh.
is blowing the whistle on this.
Good. As he should.
So when he was born, his family was already living in the cloning center.
Yeah, of course.
And but it's run by, the Illuminati.
Yeah. Duh.
And so when celebrities are on their uptick, right?
Uh-huh.
They get approached by the Illuminati and they're like, "Hey, you want to be in our club?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Okay, cool."
Who's the president of the Illuminati?
The Queen, I guess. She runs this place.
Beyonce.
No,
You were wrong.
the White Queen. So the Queen will make the clone, not the clones, but
Don't
the original
clones-
people. She'll stab them,
Uh huh.
in a gladiator type setting, or
Where she's fighting? Holy
a-
shit!
Yeah, she's fucking badass.
I need to get famous just to see that shit happen.
Let's fucking go to L.A. and go to the goat
So here,
house.
I'll
We got to get in this freaking stabbing club right now.
Here, so the basics of his story go like this. During his time at the cloning station, Marshall discovered that the entire operation is run by a collective consisting of Freemasons, a group called the Vril Society, and of course Scientologists. The secret society supergroup is what we know today as the ever-elusive Illuminati. Members of the Illuminati typically meet in subterranean bunkers.
Yeah.
Duh. The very same bunkers that, according to Marshall, house what has become a highly lucrative network of celebrity cloning farms.
Okay.
Fuck, awesome.
The cloning part of the operation didn't actually start until after the World War II.
Okay.
And the political people started bringing movie stars and musicians to hang out with them because, you know...
To be cool.
They wanted to fuck them, basically.
Yeah.
They were like, ooh, Humphrey Bogart, yeah.
So
some of these clones are used for mere entertainment value, gladiator-style wrestling bouts, sexual perversions, Illuminati ritual sacrifices.
That's a lot of information. Taylor, slow down.
Others are kept as precautionary measures. Should the clone's original ever need a new liver? Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Ooh, makes sense.
So that would explain why. What you said earlier, Britney Spears had her meltdown.
Because her clone.
No, it's because she. Yeah, well, yeah, no, her clone. So
she rejected the liver.
It follows the same logic that if you hurt the original, it hurts the clone, and vice versa. So maybe she was like in a gladiator bout or something,
or being tortured, and then
the clone's like, I'm gonna shave my head and grab a umbrella or whatever.
Yeah, because in the gladiator match, that's what she was doing to defend herself against that badass queen.
Yeah,
who obviously is taking some fucking steroids or something to get. I mean, if she's stabbing all these people, she's got to have some good strength. I mean, she's frail. So if you look at her.
Well, there's also another conspiracy theory where the queen is a cannibal. So maybe that's where she gets all her power from.
Diane
Keaton.
Keaton.
So that goes on. It goes on and on. What do you mean? This is it. That's all the celebrities are clones. Like Eminem's a clone. Britney Spears is a clone.
So I like all of it. That didn't
just go Google Donald Marshall.
So how much of this do you believe?
This none. But it's fun to think about. There's a lot of information. This Donald information.
I went on the thing and I should not have searched it. And I feel weird that you searched it on my IP address.
And it's
dude,
he apparently like writes songs for people and stuff like that.
Like I kicked Batman's ass and stuff.
And
I whooped Batman's ass.
Sorry.
And so there's a Britney Spears animated video that depicts the cloning stations. It's "Break the Ice" is the name of the song. If you want to watch the video.
Yeah, I've already seen it. I know all about this. Taylor, you're telling me stuff I already know. Okay, Tyler, number 3.
Talman seems like he's trying to usher this pretty quickly by, and I'm kind of worried about him. I'm sitting next to a weird fucking Illuminati Freemason and an alien.
What are you?
No, this is like a weird thing from John Carpenter's The Thing, where you guys are just like keeping up the ruse and waiting for me to like turn my back. Yeah. And I'm watching you motherfuckers. All right. This one's kind of a weirder one, and it had some kind of ties within reality a little bit as far as what it is, but it's called the Phantom Time Hypothesis. It was an idea that Mike Tyson was talking about. No, Phantom Time Hypothesis. It is a historical conspiracy theory. I'm reading off Wikipedia right now. Asserted by Heriberg Illig. It was first published in 1991. It hypothesized a conspiracy by the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III and Pope Sylvester II and possibly the Byzantine Empire Constantine VII to fabricate the Anno Domini, which is AD, at the time of AD. Right. Some people think it's like BC, before Christ, AD after death. Yeah. But that doesn't really account for the 33 years Jesus was on the earth. So AD is the year of our Lord.
I saw something AV. Well, I was in Europe, and it's...
Oh, maybe that's just the...
I don't know if it's just the European version. I don't know. I didn't know if it was... Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
But this is... They had like a plot. These 3 high-up people had a plot to alter that time system in order to place them in a special year of AD 1000. Mm-hmm. So to like kind of form like a more like solidify their power because it was like almost preordained that they would arrive into power at the year 1000.
Ah, that's kind of cool.
And so there is some history behind it, and this is what I kind of liked. There's the Emperor Otto III.
Hold on, I guess I didn't follow. So why would they want to?
They wanted to They wanted to like cut. So there's like
they just liked the idea of
no. It like
them.
sounded more. It sounded more official that they would come to power on the year 1000 on the millennium than it did on year. I think he says that there's 297 years of quote phantom time in which never really happened. So the year should have been.
It just sounded good.
Yeah, it should have been like 700.
And they're writing history, so they're like, fuck, I want to be.
So there's like weird, there's like, not weird, but there's stuff, like historical stuff that happened with the Roman emperor. He was like coming back into Rome, fighting his way back into it, and then like put his brother, Pope Sylvester, into power in the Vatican, and then he got thrown out, and then Otto had to come back and like put him back into power and kill all the people that pushed him out. And it's not so far fetched when you consider some of the other things that the Roman Empire have done in the past. And this is where I was like, oh shit, I kind of know about like another mild conspiracy theory that goes into it. But the Aeneid, it's the Roman version of the Odyssey. Like the Greek version is the Odyssey, the Roman version is the Aeneid, and Virgil wrote the Aeneid, and it's essentially telling the story of Aeneas, who is similar to Odysseus from the Odyssey, but Aeneas is from the Trojan side. So before they all got overthrown, he like jumped on a boat and went on a bunch of adventures. But it's like so clearly a ripoff of the Odyssey.
Right.
But at the end of the Aeneid, Aeneas, it kind of like establishes Aeneas as like the king of Italy, like the king of the Roman Empire, and that's what like establishes that, and that like established Caesar. His like legitimacy as like the Caesar of Rome, like the end all be all of power. So that story, they kind of
the story
of the Aeneid kind of established power and legitimacy to the early Roman Caesars. And that's like, so thinking of that, like that's not so far fetched to think that these people would try to fabricate time,
right,
to like establish their legitimacy in a time that was kind of tumultuous as far as war and as far as like people not wanting those people in power. But it's completely false because there's other parts, and one of the other things he was saying was there's not a whole lot of it's fucking hot in here.
It is.
There's not a whole lot of history in that time period. There's not a lot of like art. There's stuff before then, a lot of stuff before then, a lot of stuff after then, but there's not a lot of stuff within that 300 years of time.
So like whatever.
Isn't it? It's just kind of crazy to think that it's this 300 years of time. And it's like America hasn't even been around that long.
Yeah. But like and again, like the only thing I was like, well, I mean, the Aeneid was a complete like bolster job to like push up the early rulers of the Roman Empire. Like there was like, here, write this book that establishes us as like our ownership of this land. Like we are predestined to have this land.
Well, so it's the winners write history, right?
Exactly. So I was like, oh, so this isn't too far fetched. And then I saw that like, oh no, there's like other parts in time where like the Chinese were documenting Halley's Comet, which comes every 76 years, and star charts can like map that. So like they're writing history about that. Other people can like clearly calculate for that time and compensate for that time. So it's completely false.
Yeah, so that's how they debunked it.
They debunked it, yeah. Just like other like there might not be like a lot of European, specifically Roman history, but there is other parts of the world that are still living, especially like people like in like all of China is like it's still documenting this stuff.
Shit.
But it was like it was a real crazy idea, and I liked the history behind it because there is kind of history to prop this theory up. And like the fact that the Roman Empire have done kind of like other, I wouldn't say shady shit, but like stuff to kind of like fabricate their legitimacy. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, this might be it, but it's not. It's completely false.
Well, you've always been into the mythology shit though too. So
yeah, like history and mythology, that's cool. I mean, like the Aeneid was like, again, if you like look at like Wikipedia search the Aeneid, just like synopsis, it's like, oh, this is a 1-for-1 ripoff of the Odyssey. But it's like told from the Trojan side instead of like the Greek warrior side.
Well, it's kind of like how a lot of religions are based off of like Egyptian.
They're all based off of
paganism.
Something that happened before, like trying to incorporate other parts of
Take
quote
the good
pagan
stuff
religions,
and-
in order to like get new followers. But again, like the history, it's an interesting read, the phantom time hypothesis, especially when you look at the history behind it.
I'll have to read it.
Oh, we'll put it up on our show notes for the episode.
Do it. I'd like to.
Any honorable mentions?
Bigfoot is a guy.
Is a guy?
So there's the Bigfoot. He's got like a.
Is he a redhead?
Nope. This is a whole different kind of alien.
He's
of the
actually
redheads.
redheaded. We just got a bunch of like Bigfoot
conspiracy.
shit all over his body to hide. He tries to hide
lives in
under
the
like
woods.
the thermal scope, so he rubs poop all over himself.
Yeah, but he's got hair. He's hairy, big feet, and that's something that people believe in. It's like the Loch Ness monster. Same kind of.
Any more?
Yeah.
Taylor, while Talman's searching?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Just the normal.
Just normal
shit.
ones. I like the idea of like flat Earth. I didn't want to talk about that because that's so fucking. It is crazy.
It's
literally crazy to me.
it's upsetting. It's really upsetting.
It is it's upsetting. That's why I avoided it. The moon doesn't exist.
Right.
Or like NASA is putting like there's so many satellites in the air because they're trying to project like holy or like religious figures.
Yeah, that's Bluebird, Project Bluebird, or Paperclip.
Something like
Project Bluebird.
I swear I've read into it.
Project Bigfoot.
One was Egypt accused Israel of planting GPS machines into sharks in order to coordinate animal biological warfare attacks on the Egyptian
was it sharks
coast.
or dolphins? Because I know dolphins.
In 2010,
are
it said there was
used.
like a bunch like
Killer
10 different
dolphins?
shark attacks.
I swear to God, people use dolphins for things.
They were mind controlled bionic shark spies.
Oh man, that is
Yeah.
awesome.
I like that. I like all of that. There was a conspiracy I stumbled on that the Denver International Airport has a concentration camp underneath it.
Yeah, there's the theme. There's this big mural there that people
That's super
interpret.
scary as hell.
Well, it is. There's like AKs and all this weird
Yeah,
shit.
they covered it up, but there's like all this weird symbolism and like they just
It's supposed to be
built-
shaped like a swastika. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be sitting on like a vortex
That's
of energy or
super-
something.
Here's one I can think of is that CERN
Oh yeah,
thing.
super particle collider?
Yeah, hadron, whatever collider is that like they're opening up a gate.
yeah.
Is a big
Stargate?
Stargate.
Yeah.
Stargate.
Definitely.
There was a big thing called Jade Helm a couple years ago that I was like balls deep into it.
What was it?
It was like a military.
Stone deep.
It was like a military drill that people they thought it was
the
like
EMP pulses or whatever. Or
no, it was this big. They were domestic. They were military drills that were being held in like cities for training to fight in cities, but people thought that it was the government like getting ready to finally do it, to take over and
To
all
see
this
how
stuff.
easy it would be to fight the populace.
Well, they just thought that that's what they were gearing up to do, and like
okay.
people in Texas like freaked the
like
fuck
a
out and all this stuff.
subterranean like attack or something.
No, it was they thought it was in the guise of a drill, but
like weapons.
but they were in fact going to the federal government was going to take over the states
Yeah.
and all of this shit, and there were a bunch of like. There were like trains moving, like hundreds of tanks at the time, like all this like military stuff, and like people like a bunch of Walmarts were closed because they had to redo the plumbing inside of them. But people thought that the Walmarts were like these like,
Okay.
checkpoints.
Tell me more.
Like, dude,
And
this
you
shit-
believe this?
This shit, I didn't believe it, but I read
He
it.
was just stone
That's
deep.
convincible,
Yeah.
right?
Stone deep.
It was just it's like that tabloid shit.
Yeah.
It was just fun to read.
There's the EMP.
Maybe there was a
pulse
part of
thing,
me
the,
that
like,
I wanted to believe it.
Yeah.
I guess
the
I want to
electromagnetic
believe.
weapons thing that happened. They were like, like Fukushima and the big earthquakes and
yeah,
stuff.
and
There
then-
was a theory that the I don't know which military had like a electromagnetic pulse that was like causing earthquakes and shit. I swear, I talked to
I think it's
somebody.
like
HARP.
yeah.
Harp.
HAARP.
And then fuck, I just thought I forgot one. Damn it.
I just fuck. There was another thing that went like that was similar to conspiracy theories where people work backwards from a conclusion. So these aren't
well, yeah.
all the conspiracy theories in general. They take like kind of like random sporadic facts and then take like the main idea they want and then plant these facts with, or like search for these facts. So they're not like searching for the truth necessarily. They're searching for evidence that backs their claim, which is like the complete backwards way for the scientific method. You like start with your claim and then you get facts to show the final. You don't start with the final of like, fucking there's like robot sharks or whatever, and then just like find like, oh well, they're sharks, and then they did robots, and so it's like it's a complete like crazy idea. Like there's no other way that, and it's
like reverse engineering.
It's reverse. It's like taking like the scientific method that's been proven to work, and then just being like, oh no, I don't believe in that. I'm gonna do whatever I want, and maybe that's because a lot of these things spit in the face of science. Like conspiracy theories usually spit in the face of science as far as what.
Well, because all the scientists are in on it, dude.
They're all in on it.
Yeah, they're all Illuminati, and redheads are aliens.
But it's just
big time.
It's just sad to think that aliens. in a time where we are so connected to and have the ability to know so much that people are so willfully ignorant.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
And some of these are funny, but some of these aren't. And I don't think
I know there was a lot of shit that I was like.
Well, that's why I wanted to try and keep it light because a lot of the shit is.
And some of it gets so weird, and it's just like you could go to a dark place, and I was like, oh, you know what?
It's doom porn.
Yeah.
There's some kind of thing that happens when you're like, oh, I don't know, knowing what other people don't know is attractive.
The truth is out there.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. What are your 3 for this week's list? We'd love to hear them. Go to our Facebook and let us know what yours are. If you have an idea for an episode, share it with us. If we like it, we'll use it in an upcoming episode. If we do choose your idea, we'll give you a shout out and also read your top 3 list on air. That's right, you could be a part of the show too. I don't want to spend time listing all the social platforms we're on, but we're on a lot. Go to our website, slightlylisting.com, scroll down to the bottom and click on the respective links. While you're there, check out the episode extras, which feature links, pics, and anything else we couldn't really express through audio. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye.